Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Thea 2 The Shattering, where hopefully we're not going to have any deaths this episode. We have a healer in the group, right? Am I remembering that correctly, or was that last game where we had a healer? No, we totally have a healer. Okay, so we have the Master Healer trait up to level 2, a 3% decrease in the group's death chance. Let's hope that that's enough to keep everybody alive, because it would be a real shame if we lost our... Oh, actually our elf's not that low anymore. No, our elf is actually over the threshold. Totally fine. It's just Boguslava who needs a little push, so we're going to swap the sanity restoring crafting tool over here for a moment. Is our morale still good? It's alright. Let's see, he's down here, so he's not currently getting any bonus sanity regeneration, which is a shame. We don't have a ton of raw materials, so we can't do a lot of cooking right now. I guess we have some spices, which we didn't have before. And apparently you can just eat the spices straight. They are themselves food. That's actually kind of weird. So you can see the herbs don't appear on here. You can't just eat herbs. But the spices themselves are food. I mean, you could just, like, eat salt, I suppose. This is not even the right screen. Okay, what can we do with these spices? We can do a little something, right? We could cook up some fish into grilled fish, but a different kind of grilled fish. We could do some mushrooms into something. So we're spending 8 ingredients to get... Yeah, like that's totally reasonable. We're about to hit end turn, so we may as well get on this, right? I don't know exactly how this works. I'm going to put people who are able to produce the recipe one time on this. Like, if we put somebody who is able to produce this recipe twice here, and then try to cook fried mushrooms. I'm not sure how it processes. It could be that it fires each thing once down the line and then starts over at the top. But it also could be that it fires the recipes, like the grilled fish, as many times as it fires in one turn, and then the fried mushrooms. And as such, we could run out of spices before any fried mushrooms get made. So let's make sure we're doing this in an intelligent fashion. And... fingers crossed, everybody. I really do think we need to just chill for a minute here and get our stuff back together. If the Chosen dies, like I said, it's not the end of the world. I would not be opposed to, like, losing the Karakanza and one of our hunters. That would be an okay outcome. Hey, I can't help but notice that... 12? Huh, hold on a second. So we made one of the cooking recipes once, and it made... I thought we had 7 spices, didn't we? Shouldn't... we ate some of the spices and also cooked with some of them is what happened. Okay. Well, whatever. It's fine. So the Chosen is still negative 23. Well, I mean, I guess we can move around. The thing is, I don't feel like we can safely... we could at least be... Okay, we are gathering food. Yeah, I don't feel like we could safely go anywhere. We can't interact with anything safely. So, I guess we're just gonna hang out here, just party here until sanity is back in a reasonable place. Yo, is that bear wearing armor? That is actually a bear wearing like a little helmet and a suit of armor. Who made bear armor? And why? I'm not too concerned about it. Like a difficulty 4 red challenge is very passable right now. Okay, so he's gaining about 16 per turn, it looks like, which is not a... That's fine. He'll get back to a reasonable level pretty soon. Karakanza, let's have a quick look at you. You should probably be equipped with stuff. So he has a natural skill that makes him pretty effective in combat of all types. Not awesome, but pretty effective. We don't have like a shield for him to hold or anything. We could just give him an artifact and that's totally fine. I'd give him this book. Well, his mysticism is pretty bad, actually. He's a little more suited to a wand. I don't know that he needs it, though. And then we may as well give him some armor. I don't know, like, we're not going to use him in combat very much, I don't think. And here, have this. Okay. Yep, we're pretty much just hanging out, waiting for sanity to come back. We have enough materials, and this should be very, very easy. Okay, cool. Extra meat. Always welcome. So I don't actually know what the death chances are. I don't know how the math on that works out. When it says a 3% reduction in death chance, it could mean... So I believe that the death chance is expressed as a percentage, like a D100 is rolled behind the scenes at the beginning of each turn where a character is in death range, and you have like a, I don't know how much it is, like a 10%, let's say, chance for that character to die. It's probably higher than that, given our observation. But so when this thing says a 3% reduction in death chance, I don't know if it means that it lowers that chance by 3 percentage points on the die, or if it means that you lose 3% of that chance, right? Because it would be the difference between the chance going from 10% to 7%, or the chance going from 10% to like 9.7%. Excuse me. I'm guessing from what we've seen here that it's the former, that it's the larger reduction, because we have not, when we've had a healer around, we have not seen people die very much. But see, that turn he didn't gain very much at all. And that's with the bonus sanity regen. Sanity is just, it's very hard to raise. So is the amount that he's... Nope, he has 0 morale now. I was about to say, is the amount that his morale is reduced by his low sanity reducing over time as it climbs? But nope, it's just set to 0. It should be climbing because of the food, but it's actually going in the other direction. I don't know, I almost wonder if something's broken with the sanity regen rates. You would think that they would be a lot faster. So it feels like yellow challenges are not really a viable method for going through more difficult content, because it's so much faster to replenish red and purple. Red just recovers naturally very quickly, and then on top of that you can have like a healer who recovers your red for you. And purple, of course, you can do the ritual. I guess we're just gonna hang out for a little while. I mean, we're not anywhere close to running out of stuff to burn, and we have fish, so we'll just hang out. As you go deeper into the forest, you see it is damaged, and you hear the cries of creatures all around. Nature is your domain, be it by gods or skill. Listen to the forest and hear its woes. That's interesting. Nature is not our domain by gods. Our god domains are light and harmony. So I wonder why we have the nature option here. Is it just because there's an elf in the party, like elves give you the nature domain, or I'm not 100% clear on this. You see the forest has undergone a dramatic change of some sort. There are rocks sticking out of the ground, abruptly broken trees, holes and gaps, and areas of swamp that were not here before. Yeah, we've seen this event before. There's a Leshy, an ancient guardian of the forest. Hey man, what's up? How can I help? Oh, madness. Good. Hey buddy. Listen, I'm sure the story you're about to tell me is fascinating, but you've almost sunk into the swamp, and I was just wondering, do you want me to, like, save you, maybe? Please do help, and if you cannot help me, at least chase the fiend who did this. Yeah, I would like to help you. You are strong enough to pull the Leshy out, so just do it. That's interesting that we have... I probably said this last time we had this event. It's weird that there's a, like, just succeed at the thing, or try to succeed at the thing. And I mean, we wanna do the challenge, right? Because, yeah, it has a chance of awarding stuff. Okay, I'll just accept the gifts with thanks and leave. I don't really need to hear your whole deal. Hooray, it's spring and sanity recovery is increased in speed. Thank God. Poison throwing dagger, not very good for you. Gatherer, always good for everybody. And you, unfortunately, don't really want any of these. These are all stats that are not great for you. I guess we'll take the strength. It at least gives him more hit points. So this is the tree for the Divine Path quest, I believe. I would love to hit this, but we really can't until our dude gets his head back together. I guess one thing we could do, now that it's no longer winter, wow, the game is hitching up something fierce, is move over here, or even over there. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just thinking we could be gathering a different kind of food, right? It's still not optimal gathering season for that, but it'll have to do. Alright, our man is showing positive values. That's good. You can get healing at friendly towns. I guess I didn't even... I think it's only health healing, but I guess we can check. We have the movement to just come over here and talk to him. Oh no, you can totally get mental wounds healed. Okay, well that helps. How much? 100? Oh, yeah, alright, no problem. How would you guys like a very small amount of granite? Okay, so you're supposed to... I guess that makes sense, right? It's a social wound. You salve it by being social. That's actually kind of an interesting way of conceptualizing that. Alright, they got some pine cones and whatnot. I'm not super happy about having to stop so close to that war party. I would really like to be able to engage with them rather than having them engage with me. Let's try to do that. Let's come over here and be as friendly at them as we can. You smell smoke and feel a heat wave coming your way. Ask the forest to aid you in fighting this fire. The forest responds. It will aid you, but you must still fight hard. Ooh. Difficulty 7 red concept challenge should still be doable for us. Wow, apparently without taking any damage at all. A little bit of destiny gained on Nimilith, which is fine. She does have a thing that scales with destiny. The forest is saved. You feel its gratitude fall upon you. Okay. That's neat. And good people to get rep with. And then convince them you're friendly. This should be also very, very easy. So it's interesting that there are still things on the elf island that are challenging to us, even though we've totally outscaled the main quest. So, like, I've talked a little bit about how the mechanical arc of the game's systems as a whole is a little greater than the mechanical arc of what you are actually asked to do to win. And it's interesting that there are areas that are past the end of what you need to do to win. There's not really a strong reason to be over here doing this, right? You could just, like, you could choose to have a harder time if you would like to. I think I'll take the wisdom. That's fine. Let's have an event. You discover an elven sacred ground committed to the memory of the dead. Well, I feel like we should take the elf option, right? We saw this last time we were on the elf island, but we didn't have an elf with us at that time. Let us sing the Eversleep song to soothe your elven brethren on their journey. You know this statue to be an elf who entered the Eversleep, but did not shed their physical shell entirely. The elven kin can remain for centuries in this state, still aware of what happens around them, and able to awaken if needed, but resting and contemplating at the same time. The Eversleep song soothes such sleepers, and tells them of your own life path. Huh. Okay, well, continue the song, and then we'll just, we'll be respectful here, and then we'll leave. Mysticism, not great on Nimilith, but hard to argue with free stat points, right? Okay, so we're feeling better. Let's go ahead and push forward. And we've gotten into some kind of event. We've been ambushed by bandits. I'm beautiful. You know that you want to just give me all your stuff. If you fancy a little time to ourselves on the side, my men will leave you alone. That's a little coercive there, dude. Okay, sorry about the jump cut there. I am temporarily living in a place that has a very loud, very excitable, very unpredictable dog. And you might be thinking, wow, that sounds just incredibly inconvenient for trying to do recording. And yeah, you're right. You're right, it really sucks. Anyway, we're not going along with this. This is gross. This is a gross thing this guy has done, and I almost wish we could switch back to the murder path now. But let's play the damsel in distress who does not want to succumb to such base behaviors. I don't know. We'll try talking him out of being gross, and if that doesn't work, then we'll kill him. Oh, right. Yes. I mean, no, I'd never. Here, this is for you, and maybe we could find each other sometime soon. Go out for dinner. Yeah. No thanks, man. No thanks. You have permanently damaged my opinion of you. It's not a thing you're going to be able to get back out of. I guess there's not really any reason for us to make camp here. I'm hoping... Okay, good. I didn't want them to interact with us. I want to be able to interact with them. So I want to make sure we have this convince them that you are friendly option, which we did not have the first time that one of them came at us. You know, in social situations, approach matters a lot. Okay, you stumble across a couple of naked elves being violently assaulted by orcs. The orcs shout insults at them as they kick one lying on the floor. You perverted scum, best keep away from us, you hear? What? just stand back and cheer for the orcs is an option. That's probably not what we ought to do. Hey, what's happening, everybody? So this is, I believe, this is part of our Divine Path quest, and it's definitely a thing where we need to demonstrate an understanding of harmony. And if you're wondering why I think this tree is part of our Divine Path quest, it's because when I started up the game today to record, I clicked on Divine Path over here on the quests, and it centered us on the tree. Alright, hey, everybody, what's going on here? The orcs pause and look your way. Beat it, none of your business. These two creeps were messing with our kid, so now they pay for it. Messing with our kid. I would love to have more details of this story before making a decision, but it looks like that's not really an option. Let's just try to convince them that the elves look like they've paid already. This seems like the harmonious way to go here. They have a ghost. Well, that's nice and easy. The orcs lower their weapon. I do feel like the outcome of the encounter stuff should go above the text that you get for finishing the encounter. I shouldn't have to scroll up. The orcs lower their weapons and fists and take a step back. Ah, you do-gooder types. We found them two having sex here, and they were going to come and take our kid away next. We've decided. We do not tolerate it. They must die for this. Okay, first of all, always dangerous to just have sex out in the open, in the forest. You know, orcs might happen along. Secondly, where's this thing about your kid going? Or coming from? What on earth? It seems there must be more to this story. Implore the orcs to stop and allow your kin to speak. Too right there's more. I bet you're just as perverted as them, pointy ears. Men doing it openly like it's normal. It's not allowed. Only females can wield the dark arts. So, one thing that I did not grasp from the earlier text, but that one of the responses there made clear, is that it was two male elves having sex. I don't know. Again, in a lot of fantasy settings, maybe not a lot, but in some fantasy settings, it's hard to tell the difference with elves, or elves are actually not gendered in the same way that that humans are. I think this might be a thing in the more modern D&D settings, where elves are kind of like, they just have a whole different system going on. But here, apparently, not so much. Here it's just two male elves having sex in the open. Not great. You know, listen. People don't want to be going about their daily business and turn the corner and see you having sex. That's got nothing to do with whether you're two men or a man and a woman or two. Just like, don't have sex in a way that could involve strangers without their consent, is what I'm saying. So don't do that. But also, if you do happen upon that situation, the correct thing to do is not to stomp on the people who are having sex. Yeah, so it is not allowed. Only females can wield the dark arts, which is a hell of a euphemism. And them wanting our boy, leading him on the same disgusting path. Again, has this happened? Did this occur? I think the orcs here may have invented a concern that was not ever present. Let's see. So we could agree with them and say that the elves got their punishment. Absolutely not. Tell the orcs they are backwards in their ways and should just stop now. They are, but I don't think that this argument is going to be persuasive to them. Or say that the elves are different. They wield high magic, and their males as well as females can do it without the dark taint. Not like humans or orcs. There's a weird conflation of sex and magic going on here that I'm not 100% sure where the euphemisms end. I'm gonna do this one and try to explain to these orcs that they are wrong, rather than simply telling them that they are wrong. By the way, not a thing that you are that you owe someone who is wrong. You can just say, no, you're not correct. You're not, like, you don't have a responsibility to them just because they're wrong. But we're gonna try here to do the harmony thing. We've heard this before. We do not believe it. But even if it is true, our child is not Elven, so they should keep their pointy ears out of our business. Still, your words have calmed our fires. We leave the scum be, but they best stay away from us. The orcs leave, and the elves try to pick themselves up. Yeah, help them out. Of course, help them. They're having a terrible day. One is barely conscious. The other speaks up quietly. Such pointless brutality. They never even let us speak. I thank you, kind stranger. My soulmate would have perished before my very eyes were it not for you. All we did was offer to teach their boy the ways of magic. He seemed like a talented lad and destined for death amongst their kind. But we did not press the matter. We were refused, so we left. And then this. Okay. You guys gonna be okay? we were caught unaware in the midst of lovemaking. I've put my guard up now and will not allow this to happen again. The trees will guide us home. Here, a gift and my eternal gratitude. That's a pretty good crossbow. So, hey, I'm not 100% clear still on what happened here. So there was some talk of teaching the kid magic, but then also they were having, like, were the elves having sex in front of the kid? Because that's not okay. But, like, what was the timeline for the orcs figuring out that the elves were trying to teach the kid magic versus the time where the elves were having sex in the forest in the open instead of, like, inside a building? I don't know, whatever. The situation resolved. So that was not the Harmony event. That was an event that fired on the, like, when we entered the space from which we triggered the Harmony event. This is the Harmony event, right? You are drawn to another one of Mokosh's roots. Yeah, so we had a look at this, and then we decided not to do it because we were in a kind of a rough spot. But now we're back, and I am ready to pursue a yellow challenge. Convince the Leshy that you are chosen and you are here to help, but he needs to tell you how. I could use a little bit of guidance, my friend. You are here. You serve the Sister Tree's children, and your words are wise, so you may now receive the gifts of your domain. Stand still. I am all about the blessing of harmony. The power of harmony calls to you and grants you the gift of healing. You also feel your vitality improved and your intellect strengthened. Wow, quite a bit, in fact. Okay, so we gained Master Healer. I'm hopeful that the death chance reduction here stacks with the other Master Healer that we have. That would be pretty cool. I don't know what the death chance is. Theoretically, it's probably possible that you could just make it impossible for your people to die if they do stack by just having enough healers. So maybe they don't stack for that reason. Alright, thank the Leshy and ask if this is all you were supposed to do. Now, the choice is always yours, but there is a final stage of your journey, one that will lead you to your divine patron and thus unlock your, both of your potentials further. I'm all about that thing. The wild child of the sea and the winds, yes. Although the life-giving force of water remains Mokosh's domain, they needed a child of the seas, a true traveler for this new era. The answers you seek are elusive, so you must search for them while you travel on the seas of Thea. The Leshy does not wait for a reply, but goes back into slumber. Okay, that's interesting. So we can only get the final part of our god's quest while on the water. That's actually really cool. They've done some good thematic mechanical design here. Alright, and we are all in really good shape, right? I don't think we've taken any damage in any of these recent combats. The Chosen is a little bit below max on purple, which is totally fine. Yeah, let's just go for it. Find the lair of the skeletons that the elves wanted you to clear. I know how to deal with the unliving scourge. Let's prepare a ritual. You prepare a ritual that weakens the skeletons and binds them within a boundary. This will make killing them much easier, or you can face them in the spirit realm and destroy the dark magic that animates them. It's interesting that this combat challenge is harder than the one that we had the option of doing before, but obviously we're going to approach this from the magical side. Physical violence. I mean, come on, how uncouth. You destroy the binding spell and the unliving collapse in a pile of bones. You also find the remains of a horse cart and dead folks who were attacked by the skeletons. The elves thank you for getting rid of the scourge and leave a reward. Also, there's a horse. At least one of the horses is well enough to come with you, and by at least one, we mean, in fact, two. That's actually pretty good, because we do have two people who are a little on the slow side. So now we have horses for them, we can drive up our overall movement rate. It was Boguslava and... Didn't we have two people who were a little slow? Okay, well right now, dude, as much as I want to keep the bunny on you, you are slowing down the whole party, so why don't we give you one of these? And then, how many people do we have at 8? We have enough people at 8 that we cannot get the party's movement rate up to 9. Okay, that's fine. And this artifact we were given actually has pretty good scaling. It doesn't have any of the traits, like the shield, the shield leech or anything that our other weapons have, so obviously we won't be using it, but the multiplyer's not bad. So where are we at on our divine path? We have to find the, or not the divine path, the Lightbringer thing. We have to find this elf who could have had something to do with the Shattering, right? Go seek out the Rouge Mage. Listen, we know what they mean. That's a weirdly common typo, though. She knows of an elf mage that may be the cause of all this. Okay, so we have no idea where that is. I guess we can just look around. I guess we don't have a choice but to just look around. Definitely more outmaneuver, no question about that. Oh, interesting. A 9 difficulty demon circle. We might be able to take that out. You're ambushed by elven bandits. Remind them of ancient elven laws that forbid doing harm to one another. This world has shattered many ancient laws. Our woodland was tarnished by the human blight, burned, harvested, and left in tatters. We now take what we desire from those who are weak. It is refreshing. Alright, well, I think let's just talk some sense into them. We could argue with them about harmony, but now that we've got the yellow challenge down to difficulty 6, it should be very easy for us. Perhaps we can come to a more amicable arrangement. We may have strayed from our path thus far, yet it is no reason to abandon all civility. You will pay us a small fee, and in exchange you may trade with us. Fine. That's whatever. Okay. So, they don't have anything that I actually want. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume. I mean, I'll take the cooking spices. That's fine. Are any of these armors... Nope, they're just pure red, so not interesting to me at all. How would you like some very heavy granite? Okay, we got some research material, a little bit of intelligence for one of our characters. That was an okay outcome, I suppose. What does the island map actually look like? I think... You know what, let's get in our boat in the middle of the island here and sail around a little bit. We'll have some increased mobility because of the fact that the terrain is all rocky and forested. And maybe we'll be able to trigger the next step of the Divine Path quest while we're in the water here. I know this isn't exactly the sea, but I'm not sure if the game makes that distinction or not. Why is there a difficulty 1 group of enemies on the Elf Island? That's weird. It's entirely possible, by the way, that the event that we need to trigger to move forward on this track down the rogue mage thing is something that will only happen when we're walking around on land. Like, it's just a random event rather than a place that we can find. So we do need to get back on land at some point here. It seems like this might be our path event, though. Your ship is caught in a great storm that threatens to drown you. But from within the chaos you hear the quiet but strong guiding voice of your master. Great waves carry you forward, and you soon realize one of them is your god. The divine wave is wild and magnificent, but you feel it is lost in its elemental fury. So we speak up and ask the wave for guidance. This is not a good way to react to somebody being lost in their fury, by the way. The sky is clear and the waves calm, but the wind remains strong as it answers. Do I know you? Yeah, we are not defiantly demanding things. That's not really how we get down. You bow before my power, yes? Or was there more? Should I know you? Sometimes I am the wind, sometimes the waves on the sea. So many call for my guidance, but why do they call? This siren sings so constantly, her voice so loud that I cannot bear to hear anything else. Okay, I can help you with the siren. Only now do you begin to hear the terrible song of a... Sitlica? Sitting on a rock nearby. You see she has changed to this rock. Her eyes are swollen with tears, her lips and skin dried from being unable to swim. But she sings on, and all but you, the Chosen, are entranced by her song. Well, it is harmony that calms the wild seas, and so to harmony you must call now. This is certainly in character. Sing your own song and try to soothe her, and break whatever bond holds her. We're certainly not going to try to kill her. I mean, any of these should be very easy, right? Our Chosen is powerful, well-outfitted, and wearing one of the rings. We don't need to do a level 3 challenge manually. She looks at you, her eyes wide in joy as her chains break, and she is able to dive into the sea. Strybog's form grows, and you feel a divine beam of power. Freed at last! And you release that poor creature I was forced to enslave here. Well done. How did that happen? What was the circumstance where he's having trouble because of the song, but he's only hearing the song because he was quote-unquote forced to chain this sea creature to a rock. Again, I feel like this is another event where the story of what happened has not been made clear to us. So it worked? Well, the song is finally quiet, so I can hear the wind and the sea again. You carried my will well so far, followed my nature in your choices, and so I must choose this path too. Together we will restore the land and guide the lost into the true light of the pantheon, not the terror of blindness that descends. Now, speak your questions, my champion, for we do not have much time here. So this is interesting. I wonder if this dialogue is actually different. I wonder if this event is different if you haven't been following the path of the god. We kind of know this whole deal, right? This story has been roughly the same for the other two gods. Let's just ask for a final blessing and get moving here. Now you and me both, we are free. I shall resume my divine duties in full, as whatever your choices may yet be, there are ever greater perils in our realms. It would be pretty cool if, by following the path of harmony, we had actually, calmed the seas and made them safer. If that was reflected in some larger way in the game world. I don't expect it to be, but that would be a pretty cool thing. My last blessing to you may reveal itself when one of your children turns adult. Yeah. Okay. 4.4 luck, which is pretty whatever at this point. 10 research points is always extremely welcome, though. Ooh, what's this? We've never seen this before. Boiled blood. Oh, it just gives him the retaliation skill. Okay, well, no sense taking brute force, especially on somebody who has energy scatter. And Zoha gets strength, that's a no-brainer. And then I think we really just need to get back on land here, so let's do it a little bit away from the Lightbringers. I see no reason to hang out right by the spawner. Although it looks like the Lightbringers on this island are not actually any more difficult than the ones elsewhere. It's a little surprising. How are we down to 5 movement? I'm assuming that, yeah, there's morale involved in that, so we've lost... I think we were only here, right? We hadn't made it up to 100. So we lost a point of movement, but why does that take us down to 5? Who's at 5? Did we have another movement speed buff from something else? Well, we're not going to be able to fix that, unfortunately. And he's no longer, there are a bunch of people at the same movement speed, so we may as well give Boguslava his bunny back. Okay. Now you hear a faint song as if whispered from within the tree itself. This is a little bit different than the last one. You get lost in the song and don't even realize that you no longer see the tree. In fact, what tree? You hear a final whisper in your head. Weary travelers, hear my song, and may your spirit remain ever strong. You feel weakened and disoriented, but also positive. I mean, I'm not... Okay, there's the positive. I was going to say, I only see weakened and disoriented here. That's a pretty bad one. It's just a couple of turns. It's not like it's going to have any big effect on us, but I think we probably just have to wander around until the rogue mage event presents itself. We found a dwarven settlement from below the ground. Within you see the rubble of an old city, but more importantly, there's a chest intact. Cool. A bunch of heavy silver. And maybe I shouldn't be charging at events with all of our stats all screwed up. You step closer and you hear a faint rustling of leaves. You look up and see bows aimed at you. What do you seek in this sacred place? I've come seeking wisdom from the elves, that's all. You followed the right path. You may proceed. You stand by the memory tree and meditate. You hear a faint yet moving song in your head, and the words seem to come from every crystal that hangs before you. Okay, but permanent stat gains is a pretty strong blessing. Since you are here, we have a boon to ask. A corrupted spirit invades this sacred place, and we are bound not to leave this tree. The spirit resides not far away and can only be dealt with there. Will you help? All you need to do is carry this branch to the place. It will trap the evil spirit and prevent it from pestering the memory tree. That seems like another situation where we're not getting the whole story, to me. Sorry, okay, so ask why they haven't done it yet is not super helpful, because we know why. They're bound not to leave the tree. You come to the place and see a spirit form intertwined with a young sapling. You feel no dark magic from it, but you do sense a lot of anger and fear. This is clearly a forest spirit gone rogue, rather than a lost soul. Perhaps this is why the elves wished it captured, not killed. Okay, well we can do that. You bind the spirit and return it to the guards. They thank you and leave you gifts from the memory tree. So, a gathering tool that is no longer very exciting, a sacred club that actually is pretty okay as far as clubs go, and some fur robes that are pretty whatever. I mean, we're never going to use that club. We are getting pretty close to actually being friendly with the Woodlandkin, which is cool. Maybe we could get another elf from them. I think this is the last turn of our disease coming up here, so we should be able to return to our normal movement speed soon. Interesting that there's a desert in the middle of the elf island. I was not expecting that. Ooh, one of those big tree spirits. Those things are scary. We run away. Well, we can try to defend ourselves by the strength of our spirit, which I think we're going to be better at than a red challenge. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and accept this outcome because I think we know that fighting those big tree spirits totally sucks. And people having gone down below 0 purple is absolutely acceptable, very fixable. Much more fixable than taking a bunch of yellow damage would be out here in the middle of nowhere. Although I guess that wasn't on the table in the first place. Alright, so we're going to have to perform a little ritual. Trying to figure out where do I want to go. I guess this way. To arbitrarily pick a direction. Okay. Call upon harmony and nature to ask for rain to soothe this blaze before lives are lost. You know what, we're pretty good at fighting fires, it turns out. I'm assuming that the enemy cards in that encounter are really easy. Alright, so let's take a moment here and perform a ritual. So, we could do... What kind of wood is it? It has to be specifically that wood? Because that's not a very high tier of wood. Isn't it just, Yeah, I think it's just dryad wood. But that's interesting. Oh, you know what? It might be crystal wood. No, it's just dryad wood. That's weird that other wood of the same tier can't be used for that. But wood of higher tiers obviously can. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of dryad wood and a little bit of fish. I think that should be a perfectly reasonable way to do that. And actually, you know what? Just give me as many of those as you can perform in one turn. It's actually just going to be one. Because remember, overflow is halved. But people will get taken care of pretty quickly here. Also, we got to break down some equipment. Actually, never mind. We burned enough stuff there in the ritual to no longer be overburdened. Okay, it looks like we actually don't need to do the ritual again. We're totally fine here. May as well grab some grain while we're present, because we definitely don't have any of this. Okay, a more difficult crew of Lightbringers has shown up, but shouldn't be a problem. Some blood jewelry, which is not... Yeah, none of this is very exciting. It has got us overburdened again. Well, let's break some stuff down then. So yeah, we don't need this sword, we don't need this bad armor. Crafting tool could probably stay. Get rid of you. Alright, good enough. Got ourselves some sacred wood from breaking that down. How much yellow damage have we sustained? Okay, we healed almost all of it off. So we can afford to go and interact with these guys. Fortunately, the challenge to convince them that you're friendly is actually really easy, considering how late you are probably... Like, if you're going to the Elf Island, you're probably going there really late. I think we should probably try to get away from the big mass of Lightbringers, because those huge tree guys with the attacks that hit everybody for like 20 or 30 damage are pretty scary. So I was thinking a little bit about... Hell yeah, more Master Healer. I was thinking a little bit about the fight that I determined I couldn't beat at the end of the last episode. Like, how to deal with a single card that is that powerful. It might well have been the case that the smart thing to do there was to play one character, play the elf, and then just spam hunter's marks. But honestly, you could deal with that by just slugging it out, as long as you have enough shield leech. The Lightbringer village over here looks like it's probably something we can actually deal with. And like part of our problem is that the way things ended up, we don't have shield leech on our elf. Maybe that was a mistake on my part. Maybe I overreached in wanting an artifact that could be used in red challenges as well, especially considering how rarely we enter into red challenges. How long would it take us? 2 turns? Alright, I'm gonna park here for a second. We're gonna pull this up, not that we really need it. Okay, should be pretty easy. We've discovered some mythical leather. Alright, I want to try to engage with this. Let's see if we can burn this down real fast. Show them the strength of your mind, a will that will not be bent. Yeah, difficulty 7, yellow challenge with equipment is very doable. Your resistance wakens something within the Taken folk, and they banish the light from their souls. It's a little counterproductive to our god's purposes if we're using harmony to defeat light, but I guess the elves will be happy at least. Alas, their bodies are too weak and burnt out to survive without the hive mind, and they fall dead, but free. Okay, well, win some, lose some, I guess. The village itself burns, as if the light would not abide your victory, and then we got a pet wraith. And sadly, no love from the elves on that. I feel like when you banish a Lightbringer village, it should make the people, like, maybe whatever faction has a village nearby should get happy with you, because they're all beset, right, by the Lightbringers. The Lightbringers are a problem for everybody. I feel like we've been walking around here for quite a while. If the rogue mage was going to just show up, maybe that would have happened already, so maybe we are trying to find a specific location. I don't think we have a tag on the map anywhere. No, not even out in the fog. I'm not misremembering where we're at on this, right? Go seek out the rogue mage. Capture her and bring her before the council if possible. Well, it could be that it is just like a random walk-around event and we haven't gotten it yet due to bad luck. It's absolutely a thing that could be. Let's pull up this terrain artifact. Just in case we decide we want to have a bunch more advancement points, we have that option. And probably that's a thing I should do before we actually end the game. Because remember, advancement points are worth a fair number of god points. So the damage done by wind is flat, and at this point in the game is not super meaningful to us. It should not be the case that we have to deal with the demon circles, right? Wouldn't think. And pull this up while we're camping and regaining everything. Find a small abandoned house. Okay, this is an event we've seen many times before. Gather what you can and leave. Okay. I sort of wish don't gather what you can, but leave was an option. Kanza can get some more destiny. I mean, let's just throw some stuff on the ground, right? Like, we are accumulating metals constantly, even though I do not want them. If we're going to carry around one metal to potentially use for crafting, I suppose it ought to be the silver? Nah, the silver has lower essence. I'm not too worried about the wildness. Let's just throw some heavy stuff on the floor. We don't need any of this. We don't need any of that. Honestly, we probably don't need all this granite. This stuff burns, so I'm inclined to keep it. Let's keep all of the really advanced materials. We don't need any kind of bone except dragon bone. I will say I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen another elven village yet either. I wonder if it is the case that there's only one on each elf island. Maybe one of their villages randomly spawned over here. Find an old quarry. Okay, go into the rock face. Hey, look, it's a dragon. What tribute do you mean? I'm sure we could run away successfully. It is a creature of mystical birth, so fight it with your spirit. I don't know. A difficulty 9 purple challenge is probably doable. But a 9 is high, right? And I think I remember the dragon. I can't remember if we fought the dragon with red when we fought it while we were playing Triglav, right? Because of course we did. We were turmoil. So I remember that fight being very difficult. Or I remember that it had one of those hit everybody on the map attacks. And that we only narrowly avoided getting totally wrecked by it because we were able to use the Triglav ability to do enough damage to it to prevent having to actually engage, which we obviously would not be able to do now. 1 life will suffice, and it does not need to be pure, and I will allow you to take their weight away in treasure. Basically, I'm debating here between run away and try to magic it. We're pretty spirit... let's just run. We should very easily be able to run. Okay, we take some damage escaping, nothing huge. I just don't feel well set up to fight a dragon, to be perfectly honest with you. Alright, I kind of want to see what's on the other little landmass. Let's sail over there. In our ridiculously huge ship. Okay, well apparently it is a small desert island. I think this is where the Zone Eater lives. Yeah, wow, there's just like nothing over here at all. And I'm sure our morale is totally in the toilet. I have not been gathering food. Let's try heading up to here. Well, there's a Lightbringer village. There's also a forest demon party with a pretty serious forest demon in it. You come across a shipwreck and see a female floating atop a raft. Oh, this is the Kraken event, isn't it? Yeah, try to get over there and help her. You swim toward her, but the waves are strong and the winds work against you, so you move slowly. As you get closer, you see the girl has an odd greenish complexion. She cries out again, "Thank you, the chest, it must be taken to my home, else all my family will die." Alright, sea opens up, a Kraken appears. We should definitely be able to track the Kraken, that should be a no-brainer. Yellow being both social skill and intellect is kind of weird, because I think of us having high yellow capabilities because of our social skills, but then, like, that probably shouldn't affect your ability to track people. Alright, look for it once we're on land. So once we land, it'll spawn the interaction point. I guess we have to figure out where we want to go here. There are parts of the island we haven't seen yet. Those could be where, potentially, there is a, another elf village or something. So I guess let's head in that direction. Let's make landfall right here. And as long as we're here, we may as well gather as much coal as one can gather. Okay, mark the place on your map. It turns out it's right next to us, right on top of those guys. Obviously we can knock these dudes out real fast, take their stuff. Oh good, clay. That's annoying that it took all my movement points but didn't let me finish interacting with the things on that space. We're going to step over here so we don't have to do it over the river again. It's costing extra movement that way. Alright. We're going to go for the difficulty 8 purple challenge. I'm not wild about it, but if we're going to save this young lady, we gotta do something. So yeah, the purple challenge is tough. I'm not sure that we could have done the 9. You kill the beast and rescue the girl, who turns out to be a siren. She collapses unconscious and only manages to whisper, "Only home can cure me." When you examine the chest, you see a map carved on top. It must lead to this home the girl spoke of. This is what they used to do with their belongings before they had addresses. You just draw a map to from where you think you're going to leave the thing to where your home is. The chest does not seem to have a way to open it. No locks, hinges, or other signs of how it works. Okay. We'll take her back home. We got some diamond, which could potentially be useful. It's like just a very old school version of Google Maps. Alright, I can handle that. Go in, present the treasure, give them the girl, explain the whole thing. Okay, seemed like the right thing to do. Why was the chest so important? We're not going to explicitly ask for a reward. We are bound by demon laws, and sooner or later they always call to us. With the Ark, we are able to stay cut off, even unseen, even by those whose ancient rules and those who uphold them. I understand, as I have also chosen a different path from my nature, says the Karakanza. Okay. And they'll take me to their city. They gave me an armored relic. Wow. I mean, that's a very impressive multiplier. It's a shame that it doesn't have any traits on it, but that's a very impressive multiplier. We only ask that you do not show this path to another. I agree to keep your secret. We don't really need healing. Then again, we probably don't really need trade with them either. We'll take all of this stuff, and I guess all of their wood? We probably have enough wood. Yeah. I clicked the wrong thing out of the, the transaction there. How would you like some granite? All of this clay, and also a little bit of granite. Okay, there we go. So that was worth a lot of Water Demon's rep. Oh, right, I was going to do a ritual. As you travel through the forest and walk through a glade past swampy terrain, you hear a rustling of leaves. You soon spot a wounded goblin lying under a tree, with several animals with him, while a bog beast seems to circle them from the shadows, but does not approach. Nope, I'm not getting involved. No, of course we are. Approach him. As you carefully come closer, you see the animals are an odd menagerie, likely a group of forest sprites. One looks like an overgrown ginger cat, one is a rabbit with horns, a stone sloth hangs from a tree branch. Okay. Bogbias, like older brothers, are creatures tormented by possession. We could try to free this one. Or we could offer... Let's try to heal the goblin. The goblin nods and whispers as he is too weak to speak. Just please take care. It is a nasty bog toxin that got into my blood? Question mark? I wouldn't want you to get hurt too. Okay, I could do this. I know my business here, buddy. I got you. The goblin looks at you, astonished. He is still weak, but with the toxin out of his bloodstream, he seems much better. Well, I'll be damned. Say, you seem really competent. Would you have me join your group? Absolutely. That's awesome. Great. I hope you have plenty of food. I'm told I don't have enough variety in my diet. Okay. That's awesome. Free goblin. Hold on. Let's have a look at our goblin before we do anything else. Zosh. So Zosh is a tinkerer. He has good yellow stats, and that's it. He has the Summon Elder Cone ability, which is interesting. And yeah, he came with his little pet demon. That seems pretty cool. I wonder how good an Elder Cone is. We should probably give him some, like, real armor. I don't know, his armor is actually okay. We don't have a lot of great armor. And then I'm going to give him the ridiculous scaling artifact. Because I think I want to keep the artifacts that have traits on our other people. And then let's talk to these guys. Are we cursed? I don't remember. I have the ability to pay for curse removal, so I assume that we are actually cursed. And how would you like all of this clay and also some granite? Turns out I pay all my debts in granite. Okay, we've been spiritually cursed for some time, it would seem. I'm not too worried about our spiritual wounds. Like, we could just... I guess we could just have these guys take care of them. Seek spiritual healing. Again, probably best to pay with the heaviest currency that we have. Because I would rather spend granite than spend our other stuff. Alright, let's try to head along the north coast of the island. I don't want to get too close to that big group of forest demons. But I do want to see what is over here in the dark. Okay, bad. I hate these. I hate leshies. They're so terrifying. Okay, apparently they're not that terrifying in yellow combat. Okay, another forest fire thing. Put the fire out. Apparently we're very good at putting the fire out. And we're gaining stats and wood every time we do that. So like that event keeps occurring, and it's feeding us tons of rat plague. I'd be totally okay. Right, the reason we had so much extra movement was because we had a physical blessing. Yeah, that makes sense. What am I doing? Why am I running directly toward... That was not smart. I'm going to go ahead and level up Hunter's Mark in anticipation of perhaps having to fight a Leshy in a second here. Okay, they didn't actually attack us. I'm pretty sure that this is not, in fact, one of those events you get by just walking around at this point, so let's go sailing around the coast to avoid the Leshy. Ah, there is another Woodlandkin village. Hey look, it's a strange storm. Let's talk our way out of it, because we talk our way out of everything. I was made of wind, but I was born to roam the land, not this. I'll stop causing you trouble, if you'll agree to take me home. Any land will do. Alright. So I kind of want to interact with this village just to see if it's the thing for the quest. But I'm a little terrified of the number of enemies that are around here. I guess if we stand right here to interact with the village, we're only actually attackable from so many sides, right? I'm hoping this will be good enough to keep it down to maybe one group of enemies attacking us. Do I want to stay put and finish gathering the terrain artifact? Probably not, right? That feels greedy. Definitely level up Ghostly Axe, not even a thinker. And I guess we'll stick to Wisdom for Zosh. We don't need it, that's greedy. Let's just talk to the village. Ask if you can visit the sacred oak tree to honor it. You may, but be wary, for those who do not walk the elven path may not find it friendly. Well, I walk an elven path. Ask Harmony to soothe the ancient tree and show respect. Okay, a little bit of max faith, the big yellow blessing. That's it, huh? Alright, is there anything we can help with? I have a lot of good metals. Do you need metals? It would like 40 metals. I'll give him some mithril, that's fine. I see. The way of your pantheon is most interesting indeed. We accept your gifts graciously. Here, this is a chest of unknown origin I recently found. It's yours. I didn't open this. You just take whatever's inside. Okay, so a malachite relic that's actually kind of interesting. And nuts, which is a type of food that we don't currently have on us. And now we are above 50. We're above 50 value with them, above 50 reputation. So if we go back to the other village, the main village, we should be able to recruit, which is pretty cool. They have access to some neat bows, some armor that's like totally fine, whatever. I keep taking all the cooking spices from, all the cooking herbs from every place that we visit and then not actually using them to cook. Mostly I'm just trying to get some kind of value out of getting rid of my my heavy stone. So yeah, I'm gonna sail back around the coast here. Where was that? That other village was down here. Oh, hold on. What is that? Okay, these are... This is a location that is marked as being for the Lightbringer's quest. On the main... Okay, maybe we need to go visit that. Where was that other elf village, though? I'm totally spacing on the location. Thought it was down here somewhere. Because this was not the first Woodlandkin village we saw, was it? No. We totally We totally talked to some people at a different village. I guess you just can't see them through the fog of war. I think it was down there somewhere. Whatever, the ship's fast. We'll get down there and check. Weird, though, that the location of cities doesn't stay on your map through the fog of war. I'm pretty sure it was down... Yeah, there it is. Alright, let's see if we can recruit an elf. Would any of the woodfolk like to join my path? Seek for our kind to join yours. An odd idea, but not without its merits. It is unlikely any of the elders shall undertake this path, but a youngling may wish to explore such adventurous life. Those who expressed interest await you. You will, of course, leave the customary gift in exchange for their service. You can recruit once with a tiny chance for a second when your population is very low. So let's take an elf child. 15,000. I have no problem generating 15,000 value. That should be actually pretty easy to do. We just have a ton of garbage. Yeah, I don't need this topaz. Frankly, I don't need these rubies. I don't want these bones. We have some... Yeah, we have some, like, wraiths that I just can't imagine us using. We have some horses. I don't really... The horses are not super valuable. We can definitely trade away some of our, like, garbage equipment. Like, we'll never ever use the shield. That artifact's not that good. That artifact's not that good. And we actually do... Let me do a value sort here. It is at least possible we might use this. And it's light, so it's not like it's weighing us down or anything. We'll never use that, though. And then we could trade off the horses. I mean, we're not using the horses, right? We're also only 500 value down. We could trade off some other stuff that we definitely will never use. And then I just need to make up a tiny little bit more. Here, have some bad armor. Okay, elven child. Also a bear. Okay. So mostly what I'm interested in here is seeing the options that an elven child has when growing up if you have an elf with you already. What are we looking at in terms of grow up time? 38 turns. Okay. I don't remember what this was. I guess it spawned close enough to the village that maybe it's the rogue mage event. Maybe it can spawn within, like, X tiles, and usually that makes it spawn on the same island, but in this case, it maybe didn't, just because the two islands are so close together. Our Lord will guide us through the storm, of course. And blessings upon us and them, and kind of just whoever. Alright, let's investigate this tree. Okay, yeah, this is the mage. It's weird, it just didn't spawn on the same island. I was not expecting that. You find the lone tree you were told about and follow it to a grand cave by a waterfall. There you were told the elven mage Aelileth lives. Welcome. I admit I am surprised my kin felt it necessary to send outsiders here. Then again, I suppose it is a wise move. If you fail, their hands are clean, and if you succeed and bring me in, they'll take the credit. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So she admits there's something she can be taken in for. You know, like bringing about the Shattering? If you think that getting one to admit one's designs is as easy as that, you are somewhat more naive than I had hoped for from a champion of the cosmic tree. So we can call upon our domain and implore her to tell the truth, or we could use our elfiness and say that we understand the call of the light, the warmth of its touch, and even the promise of its pure revenge against the darkness that once almost wiped out your kind. But ask her to tell you the truth nonetheless. It is not seemly to lie to one another. Elves do seem to respect other elves way more than they respect other creatures, so let's give that a shot. Yes, it is shameful to speak untruth to one's own kin, yet are you such? Did you not forsake our cause when you decided to follow the footsteps of Velis and the young upstart Diavana, who, like you, left our ranks to join them? It is you who has broken the trust, friend. Thus I feel no duty to speak truthfully in your presence. Okay, well, it was worth a shot. So what is her goal? Does she want the Lightbringers to take us all and the Shattering to destroy the land? Well, things are rarely as simple as they seem. Yes, the Lightbringers seem dangerous to you, but what do they actually do? They unite us in a symphony of light, one mind and many, forever joined. No conflict, no strife, almost as it was in the primordial light, and trust me, it was glorious. Shedding this physical connection, the flesh, and everything that comes with it. It kind of sounds like that's stealing our will and taking our individuality away, though, which is not awesome. It isn't taking anything away. It is simply uniting all in... Oh, sorry, there's actually more text there. Yes, and I appreciate how terrifying it may seem to creatures so used to their mortal coil, but try to expand your mind. It isn't taking anything away, it is simply uniting all in true equality. When did we ever strive for change? What you call progress only brings strife, war, anger, violence, and intolerance. Why have it? Why not settle for one mind in unison? Peace. Alright, so we have some yellow options now. We could jump her and attempt a difficulty 8 yellow challenge, or we could keep trying to talk her down. Sounds like a perversion of your domain, an extreme that should not be. It sounds like a lot of bitterness speaks through her. Is this really a quest for the world to find peace, or one to rid herself of mortal emotion, of human-like connections in favor of one mind that will not distinguish her pain from another, and thus make it all go away? I think that this sounds a little bit more like sort of the characters that we're playing than a concern about the perversion of the light domain. Difficulty 8 yellow challenge. We did a difficulty 8 purple, and in theory we're much better at yellow than we are at purple. Let's give it a shot. Okay, it is not just her. Actually, is she represented here at all? No, she's totally not. She has a party of other elves to do her fighting for her. I did not realize that Nimileth was missing 28 sanity. But I mean, yeah, we're really good at yellow challenges. We took 1 damage there. Interesting. Ilileth slumps her shoulders and looks away. A single tear runs down her chin and turns to crystal as it falls. Have I truly been so deceived? Did I fall into the trap that I set for others? Your words confuse my purpose. I am no longer certain of my path, and without this certainty, can I commit to it all? No, I cannot. At least not now. Perhaps another way will present itself in due time. Okay, so will you help me stop this then? Will she hand herself over to the elves so they may aid us in restoring the Earthheart? Oh, no, please, do not choose that path. I shall go with you to the prison of the Dwarven Grand Master. He will forge a new heart for you. For if we go back to my kin and they decide to aid you, they will feel the guilt of my actions. They will seek to bear responsibility. I fear for what they will sacrifice to aid you. Please do not make me go down that path. That's interesting. So should we take her back to the village? I mean, I'm going to choose to take her back to the village here. Not because I think it's the correct character path or anything, but because it's the thing we haven't seen yet. Feel a little bit bad about it, but that's what we're doing. My Lightbringer allies have forsaken me after hearing my change of heart, but even alone I would rather be killed by you than play any part in bringing my failure back to my home. I want to see what happens. We're still going to do it. We'll take her in by force. But, like, what if take her in by force ends with us killing her, right? It's not our goal, but hard to predict the outcome is my concern. Let's try it. Let's see if this path is actually something you can do. Obviously, it should be very easy. You beat Eliath and bind her. You can now take her back to the Elven City for judgment. This is pretty not harmonious. You take a few steps and find yourself back in the Elven town. Now you see her welcomes you. You have returned with Elileth. I did not think it possible. Don't worry, we will return you to where you were once we are done here. Alas, I have troubling news, and I feel terrible having to share it after you have already done so much for me. I have been following your progress. All elves share a faint connection, a much weaker form of what Lightbringers have. In any case, I have informed the Council of your success, and they are forever stubborn. Really, they won't help us. Naisir makes an odd face and then speaks as if a child mimicking an adult. We thank thee for this aid you have provided, child of the gods. But it is not our custom to rush to judgment, especially not for our own kin. Elileth will face us, but it will take time to determine our course of action. But worry not. I have already assembled allies and won the right for you to address the council with me. Together, I believe we can convince them to, excuse my language, move their bottoms. Oh yeah, that's some real harsh words there. So, we can go and make our case, or go and make our case intellectually. This seems like a pretty easy challenge. We should be able to do either of these, especially considering we just saw a difficulty 8 yellow challenge go down with only a single point of damage suffered. But maybe we should take the... I'm a little worried that this is not going to have as good of an outcome. I think if the elves could be convinced by facts, they would have been convinced already, right? Yeah, let's take the harder road because I think it's more likely to work on them. That time, no damage at all. The council listens, and their speaker turns to you. Naisir, you have chosen your allies well. We believe your cause to be true, and furthermore we accept culpability of the elven folk in this disaster. As such, we will make the necessary sacrifice to ensure that balance is restored as soon as possible and with the least loss of life. Okay, balance is restored. That's like the best possible outcome for us, right? I was a little worried when we started working with the elves that this was going to turn into a, no, we're going to make the light take over everything, which obviously has some serious consequences. But this has really worked out well. Go back to your red cave where your alchemist awaits. We will provide a new earth heart as well as aid in defeating the light beast that sits in the heart chamber. You have our solemn word on this. I believe Naisir wishes to accompany you to achieve this goal. We could just thank them for the aid and leave, but because we have an elf with us, we have the ability to ask a question that I think we probably ought to ask. How exactly are you making this heart? As far as I know, it's not a craft of the Elderkin to forge living stone hearts, and the giants are long gone. You will learn of it in due time. Fear not, your connection with the gods will shield you from what we must do. That's worrying. We will not say more until the time is right. Go. The council members slowly depart the room and leave you with Naisir. Okay, well, we just gained a very powerful ally. Jesus, look at her stats. Hold on, let me have a look at you. So she's not an elf. She is an elven druid. Okay, she is an elf. I guess when you become a druid, you start to take on some animal characteristics, because she definitely has some non-elven legs, right? Our other elves do not look like this. Am I imagining that? Where is... I guess Nimileth would be below her. Yeah, Nimileth has people legs. She just has them covered in leaves and weird sandals. Yeah, alright. Druids often prefer the company of woodland kin to other humanoids, even to those of their own kind. During the days of darkness, the druids were amongst the leaders who led the elven people, or held the elven people together, long enough to heal the taint of darkness and rebuild. Okay, not a lot of information about what is going on with her legs. So she has the ability to spawn pine conettes. She's an elf, of course. She can summon her own elder cones. Okay, she seems powerful. Not that we really need her anymore. How would she like a malachite relic? And then also, her movement speed is reasonably high. Perhaps a friendly pet dog? Gives you a little bit of extra sanity. I have to say, my experience of a dog lately has been one that I would describe as decreasing my overall sanity. But I can see what they're getting at. And then... let's see, she has attacks off of Wisdom and Destiny already. This actually does give a better Destiny scaling attack. To give her an Intelligence scaling attack that splashes in a different way. Or we could just give her like a little bit of weapon block. I don't know that I want to go to all the trouble of crafting more material at this point in the game. Okay, I mean, this is multicolored weapon block, at least. Alright. So, we need to go back to the Alchemist Cave. Which is all the way down there. It's a little inconvenient. I mean, I guess the thing to do is get back in the water, right? But here's the thing. I don't really want to complete the game until our child grows up, because I want to see... the elf grow up options when you actually have an elf in the party. So we're probably just going to kill some time. It's a lot of time. I'll probably kill some time off camera, is what I'll do. Let's just sail back down here. I don't think we have anything else terribly pressing, right? Sea Heaven. The Sea Heaven quest is totally... Yeah, it's totally over. I don't know why it's not cleared out of our log. We totally did go back to the smithy for the reward on that, right? Yeah, like I don't think that actually exists anymore. I don't remember what this is. I guess we can go check it out. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm intending to end this game this episode because I do think we're right up on the end of it. Right, just having the heart is good enough, right? I don't think there's anything else that we have to do. Okay, what was this? Oh, this is the... No, don't go in. Don't go in the trolls. Fine. Examine the place carefully. Explore the old cells. I mean, this doesn't matter. Damn this dwarf! Run for your lives! Okay. Get out while you can. Perhaps looking for other paths. I'm not interested in actually saving him. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is just, Oh, we didn't actually go back to talk to the demons after we dealt with the Red Ridgers. Let's do that. I should have gathered mushrooms that turn. Whatever, it's fine. We're actually on 4 turns of food I didn't notice. Alright, you've done the deed. You killed those Red Ridge bastards. We totally did. Wonderful news. I admit, I was betting against you. Well, a deal's a deal. Here's your reward and a blessing. We've been to that cave. You'll need to be tough to get in where you need to. Good luck. They scatter off. Okay, so not a big reward. Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna just kill the recording for a moment. I'll gather some food and stuff, and when the child grow up event happens, I'll cut back in. So I'll see you in just a second. Alright, well, as you can see here, unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of options. We have Teach a Trade and Chance. You can see we have 8.6 Perception. I was curious if Perception would allow us to create like an Elven Hunter, because that's like a big fantasy archetype, right? So I gave the kid a dog and was able to take Perception up on a level up, but it looks like Perception does not lead to anything for elves, or maybe at least not female elves. I don't know. So we don't really need to teach the kid a trade. Elves are forever bound to the forest. Allow your child to transform into a forest demon, even if the result is unsure. The thing is, this kid probably no matter what happens here, this kid has no role in the rest of the game. So I'm kind of curious what might happen with this. Let's just try it. I'm bummed out that 8.6 Perception wasn't enough to lead us to something. I guess a druid probably is somewhere between like mysticism and wisdom. There might be elven spellcasters, so it could be that focusing on mysticism or destiny would have gotten me something. I don't know. Anyway, let's just see what kind of forest demons they can turn into. It quickly became apparent they were never elven in the first place, but rather a forest creature disguised by a spell. Child becomes a villy and returns home to you changed but ever loyal. Okay, that's fine, I think. I don't think a villy is anything important. I'm bummed out that we didn't have another option there. So you have your dive attack, which is perception scaling at least, and of course you are a flying demon, and as such you have reduced carry weight but also energy disturb. Okay, yeah, that's pretty whatever. Alright, let's move stuff forward here. I agreed on an alliance with the elves. They'll be here shortly. He nods, and as you turn to enter the Red Cave, the elves arrive. Several of the emissaries are hooded and keep their distance. The one who speaks to you looks pale and sickly. We know where to find the Heart Chamber and the light beast that resides within. We will lead the way, and together we can set things right. Okay, that seems easy enough. I should probably have asked if they were okay. It just now strikes me how rude that was to not ask. Alright, apparently I can't even leave this space this turn. Let's gather some more fruit. So as you can see, I did research all of our researchable stuff. So we're up to 10 advancement points. It's some good earning for next time. Yeah, gather whatever. Just get out of here. Nemelith has leveled up and has access to destructive words, which is fine. Or weakness, which is also fine. Whatever. I don't know, man. Okay, so of course, this thing is happening again. The dazzling shine blinds you at first, and even after a time, you still feel dizzy from it. When you enter the final chamber, you see the torn corpse of the Zmei, animated by living rays of pulsating light energy. So let's look around for the elves and hope they haven't abandoned us. The emissaries appear, holding a wooden box. This is the new heart. We will place it within the stone chest, but you must defeat the light beast for us. It will be weakened now, but you must act fast. Obviously, it's pretty certain that we will be able to get this done. As you come closer, you hear waves of voices, thousands perhaps, but they all speak to you in unnerving unison. One leads them and turns to you. Come, join, be at ease, cleansed from darkness for good. We will stay until the end of days. Peace, tranquility. Yeah, so we all got blessed pretty hard here, which is lovely. We did have another kid while we were waiting for the elf to grow up. Light and harmony. So this option is only available to us. This particular version of the yellow option is only available because we have both of these domains, I guess. We will call out to the tortured creature, calling upon our domain and demanding it cease its madness. Light is supposed to be harmony, balance, order. Not this. Listen, you can have too much order. And obviously, like, we blow this challenge out, it's not a big deal. Yeah. We're way over prepared for the end of the game. The funny thing is, we're way over prepared for the end of the game, but like I said earlier, I think Elf Island is still a place that it's tough for us to hang out. It's weird that some parts of the game world scale beyond what you need to finish the plot. We feel your intent, so strong. Balance, that is what you seek. We seek peace, tranquility for all. There is too much turmoil and darkness, and the more we push, the more it answers. We will listen to your guidance and allow you to restore the heart. Be well. Be at peace. Okay, so we got a bunch of, like, crummy equipment that obviously we don't need because the game is over. A stonewood sword. That's actually an interesting weapon. And yeah, some god's branches and whatever. Yeah, I mean, there was no doubt that we were going to be successful there, right? The light beast is slain and its body incinerates into white ash. Bright flares explode in all directions, blinding you for a second, but they are quickly sucked in by the heart held by the elves. They place it on a carved pedestal that resembles a huge ribcage. But you also see more light drained from the Elderkin, and some collapse from the strain. And we got a... Wow! Wow, that's a good relic! A 1.9 times multiplier with area effect. Well, I mean, I guess it always has area effect, doesn't it? But then another 5.7 damage on top of that. Corpse Feast is a version of Dinner for Two that heals everybody, again, unfortunately, for the wrong color. And then also a 29% increase in mysticism. This is the best item I've ever seen. Also, a pretty okay frog. Frog artifact. Let's check on the elves. Are they okay? Now you see her get nods, but you see the terror on her face as her kin fall one by one. I was likely protected by proximity to you and your gods. Let us just finish this, please. The elves do not speak, but the alchemist turns to you. The price was high, but fair. The Lightbringers should be weakened straight away, and in time the Shattering should subside. And for now you've done it. Let us leave this place and allow the elves their space. And the alchemist chooses to come with us. Did we have that happen before? Wow, 102 reputation with the Woodlandkin. I don't think that happened before, did it? So we can continue playing. We're kind of in the post-game here. There was a comment on, I think, the first episode of this game that said that in Thea 1, you could play after you had completed the main quest, and it would continue. Like, the world is different. There are events that would only appear post main story. So I am kind of curious if that's the case here. Let me know. If you know, let me know in the comments below. It's cool to have the alchemist. He doesn't seem to be, like, particularly useful at this point, especially since the game actually might be over. But, hey, we did it. If we make camp here, and then just hit end turn, it's going to show us the hey, you done it screen. It turns out we've unlocked Nia and Triglav. What a surprise. We got ourselves some god points for the next run. I'm going to hit keep playing here rather than end game, but we're not going to keep playing in this game. Actually, you know what? I might let this kid grow up. So you are a male child. Destiny probably doesn't have a lot of value for you. I think we are going to let this kid grow up. How much time are we talking about on that? Just because I'm curious if Strybog's blessing will be available here. I kind of thought it might happen with the elf child, but it didn't. It didn't seem like we had an option related to having completed our Divine Path quest. So I'm gonna do another little jump cut here. We'll jump back in when Zabir grows up, or if we see an interesting event in the interim. So be right back. Okay, well, Zamir is growing up, and unfortunately, we don't have any new options here. Actually, I guess let's just say we want them to become. A healer makes more sense with the domains of light and harmony. I'm wondering if we'll see an extra stat benefit upon growing up, or Strybog did say that it was a chance that a child would receive his blessing when growing up, right? So I guess let's just see if something wild happens. In the trials, nope, totally normal healer with totally normal stats. Okay, well, not exactly a fascinating outcome there. So, I think this is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. This is probably the end of this game. I sailed around for a little while, I ran around on the different islands, and not only did I not have any new events pop up, I didn't have any events pop up at all. So I am suspecting that even if there are new events that only occur after you finish the main story, they might be few and far between and certainly not worth spending our time on. Let me know in the comments below if I am wrong about that. I won't actually hit the end game button on this game until the beginning of tomorrow's recording session at the very earliest. So yeah, let me know if I'm mistaken. And if not, tomorrow we'll be starting a new game aiming for a settle off of the beginning island. So the beginning of that game will probably unfold a lot like this one. We'll hang around on the main island and do stuff until we've built up the advancement points to start messing with the higher tier resources, and then we'll go and try to build our first town idol out of something really fancy, and I think that'll be an interesting experiment. So let me know if there's a particular god or a particular strategy you would like to see pursued in that game, and come back tomorrow for the start of that. We'll see you then.